Hello gorgeous people, what is going on, and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're checking out a newer analog horror series called The Real. It's still very new, it only has 3 episodes so far, but basically it's about these creatures coming from another dimension. At least that's what I think it's about. It's a little complicated to explain, but you'll see once we get into it. It's by a channel called Anomaly who uploads a ton of horror videos, so be sure to go check out Anomaly's channel. Link will be in the description down below. And alright, enough of me talking. Let's jump right in. Video 1. Intruder. Okay. Got some security cameras going on. Sounds like someone's moving around in this house. This video is called The Intruder, so I'm guessing we're gonna see someone break into this house. Some old ass security cameras. Didn't see anything, but heard someone walking around for sure. Okay, hold up. I gotta pause because I know that I'm not gonna be able to read this in time. Warning, this is a national alert. All citizens are required to remain vigilant due to the escape of an extremely dangerous entity. The government mandates the following preventative actions, failure to comply with which may result in imprisonment or internment due to imminent biological risk. Internment, not interment. Okay, so this must be some very dangerous entity here. All right, what are the things we have to do? Cancel any public funerals, remove all mannequins from commercial stores, burn any photograph that includes human beings, remove all mirrors from homes, buildings, hospitals, and commercial establishments. Hold on, whoa. Wait, these are all very, very different things here. Cancel any public funerals, remove all mannequins from commercial stores. Okay, the only 2 things I could put together with that is that they're both human shaped, whether it be dead bodies at a funeral or a mannequin. So maybe whatever it is can possess bodies? I don't know. That's me really throwing it out there. Burn any photograph that includes human beings. That's really confusing. What could an entity even do with that? And then remove all mirrors from everywhere. Every individual must carry a visible document of identification at all times, both outside and inside home. Okay. Is that not kind of counterintuitive to burn anything or any photograph with a human on it? Dr. Andrew Becker. We have been monitoring an entity for the past 2 months. We have enclosed it in a 4-meter thick concrete container and monitoring it with an internal camera. Is this the same entity? The entity appears to be motionless, although we have found it in 2 different positions when not under observation. This is extremely bizarre, but despite lacking facial features, it seems to interact with the camera. Okay. Okay, it's a mannequin. At least that's what it looks like. The following photographs were taken using different spectrums of light and revealed a strange face after a transformation that lasted almost 106 hours. Okay. The entity remains always silent. However, some laboratory workers reported feeling that the figure spoke directly to them through the screens. HR and SD, the 2 permanent camera monitors, had to be hospitalized in critical condition after 3 weeks. A strange infection and enormous tumors rapidly spread across their faces. Okay, So I see why they don't want mannequins, because that thing looks exactly like a mannequin. It does look like that over time it becomes more human, at least like it said, gaining the facial features. And they do have it in a secure location, it sounds like. It's in, like they said, in a concrete box, basically underground. But it seems like you're still screwed. Even by looking at it through a camera from a monitor, workers grew tumors on their face? That is insane. The discovery of the real.
Jacques Lacan, éminent psychiatre français, a mené tout au long de sa vie une enquête intense sur l'ontologie, la linguistique et la psyché des vérités de la réalité. Sa théorie la plus célèbre, celle des trois registres, propose une dimension radicale de l'existence à laquelle nous ne pouvons accéder directement, seulement à travers une rencontre traumatisante avec l'impossible. Ce réel est une structure insaisissable par l'esprit, où l'existence se configure selon des paramètres défiant la compréhension. L'homme, dans son intérêt infini à aller au-delà de lui-même, pourrait accidentellement créer une brèche catastrophique s'il tentait d'accéder au réel. Dans le réel, il n'y a pas d'identité, pas de figure, seulement l'horreur et l'incertitude.
I'm just gonna go back and read that part for you, because I feel like that may have been a little confusing to understand still. The discovery of the real. Lacan, renowned French psychiatrist, conducted an intense lifelong inquiry into the ontology, linguistics, and psyche of the truths of reality. His most famous theory, that of three registers, proposes a radical dimension of existence that we can only access indirectly through a traumatic encounter with the impossible. This real is a structure elusive to the mind where existence is shaped by parameters that defy understanding. Man, in his infinite interest to go beyond himself, could accidentally create a catastrophic breach if he attempted to access the real. In the real, there is no identity, no figures, only horror and uncertainty. Not quite sure what that means, but based on what we learn here, the real is this other dimension or plane of existence that has some horrifying things in it. Just based on these few pictures we have, which also look kind of like mannequins. This one's got like flesh inside of it, it looks like. Yeah, very confused by that so far. Okay, we're back to the security. Cops are coming. Still not seeing anything though. Oh, we're getting photographs of the house now. This looks like dirty laundry, but here looks like a blood stain or something. Like, that looks like that could be an organ. Okay. All right, and that's where the first video ends. So I guess the mannequin is the intruder. So either that happens before they captured the mannequin, or the mannequin escaped from its little concrete box that it was in. Hopefully that was taken before they captured it, because this thing is really dangerous just looking at it. I can't imagine what happens if it touches you. That also means, is that what that sound was at the beginning? Was that the mannequin walking around? I always think mannequins are terrifying in horror games, especially when it's like you turn around and then when you turn back, they're in a different position. I always thought that was like creepy. So the fact that there's a mannequin breaking into people's houses and I guess possibly killing them is even more disturbing. And obviously this thing seems to have come from this dimension of reality that they're calling the real. But the question is that the only entity that comes from the real, or is this just one of many? This next video is called Research, so I think we'll find out more right now. Video 2. Research.
This is an instructional video intended for proper qualified personnel in the treatment, study, safeguarding, and storage of entities and phenomena. The public scientific disclosure of which would constitute a tearing apart of the fabric of civilization.
Tape 1. The everyday reality.
Everyday reality refers to the objective and tangible existence of the world around us, independent of our individual perceptions and beliefs. It encompasses all the events, objects, phenomena, and processes that make up the universe, including both the observable and the unobservable. Reality is characterized by its capacity to directly influence and impact our lives, and it can be studied and understood through different disciplines such as physics, biology, psychology, and philosophy. While our interpretations and understandings of reality may vary, reality itself is considered a fundamental and objective concept that exists beyond our individual perceptions.
Honestly, not sure what to think of that. Oh, more about Lacan.
Dans la théorie de Jacques Lacan, le concept du réel ne se réfère pas simplement au physique ou au matériel, mais plutôt à une dimension de l'expérience qui est fondamentalement inaccessible et perturbante. Il ne peut être pleinement capturé par le langage ou les représentations mentales que nous construisons pour donner un sens au monde. Pour l'auteur français, la réalité quotidienne est médiatisée par le langage et les symboles que nous utilisons pour la représenter. Cette médiation symbolique crée une expérience subjective de la réalité qui est façonnée par nos croyances, nos préjugés et nos fantasmes individuels. Le réel, quant à lui, surgit dans nos vies de manière à nous confronter au manque de correspondance entre nos représentations et l'expérience directe. C'est ce qui soutient l'appareil même de l'existence. Le réel se manifeste à travers l'inexplicable, l'incompréhensible et le traumatique, et c'est une force perturbatrice qui trouble notre illusion de contrôle et de domination sur le monde.
Again, I'm going to go back and just read that to you, so maybe it's a little bit easier to understand. In Lacan's theory, the concept of the real does not simply refer to the physical or material, rather a dimension of experience that is fundamentally inaccessible and disturbing. It cannot be fully captured by language or the mental representations we construct to make sense of the world. For the French author, everyday reality is mediated by language and symbols that we use to represent it. This symbolic mediation creates a subjective experience of reality that is shaped by our beliefs, prejudices, and individual fantasies. The real, on the other hand, intrudes into our lives in ways that confront us with the lack of correspondence between our representations and direct experience. It is that which sustains the apparatus of existence itself. The real manifests itself through the inexplicable, the incomprehensible, and the traumatic, and it is disruptive force that disturbs our illusion of control and mastery over the world. So after reading that a few times, I'm still a bit confused, but it sounds like that the real is seen through ways that just don't make sense or that are unexplained. Again, doesn't make sense to me either, but hopefully we get some sense of understanding of this soon. Maybe we'll get an example. I don't know. But definitely, oh god, that's confusing. Tape number 3. What then exists in the real? Okay.
To understand what exists in this realm called the real, it is necessary to engage in the highest exercise of mental abstraction. While the real can be perceived through the senses and manifested in concrete objects, this is merely an imaginary way of being processed by the human mind, derived from what can be seen as an image. Due to the physical limitations of the organism and the tendency towards the survival of subjective psychic experience, these phenomena present themselves through a collective and individual imaginary. These supposed entities fracture existence and create an unassimilable gap after traumatic experiences or failures in the known reality. Warning: phenomena of the real may be collectively perceived as everyday objects. However, despite certain reports, although many people may see the exact same thing, certain digital devices would interpret them differently, and some individuals would apprehend them with forms and characteristics that differ from those commonly described.
I'm starting to get it now, I think. This is a photograph of a wooden cube, and that's what it looks like. But then also, this is a drawing that a child made of that same cube. So the child sees it differently than the camera can. So like they were showing before, like, these pigeons to the human eye look like pigeons, but they can actually be something from the real that is just not fully visible by certain human eyes. I feel like the best way that I could explain it is imagine an alternate from the Mandela catalog, but it fully disguises itself as a human. Pretty much identical, but it's still an alternate. You just don't know. I think that is the threat here. And that these things from the real can still harm you, but they look exactly like normal everyday objects, which honestly, based on what I'm hearing, that sounds almost impossible to fight against. But let's learn a little more. Maybe we'll learn something that we didn't know. Personnel are advised to carry a unique identification document at all times, mandatory.
The real could even be interpreted by the mind in the form of a friend, a child, or any other person. Although the identification card is not foolproof, it has reported an effectiveness of 28% compared to other methods that have failed outright. It appears that the real primarily manifests in the human mind through organic entities. Rarely have experiences with inanimate objects been reported. However, the latter have exhibited the most volatile, dangerous, and risky characteristics for maintaining the stability of reality.
So basically the whole identification card thing is to possibly avoid running into the real disguised as humans. Because like they show here, some people can see this girl like this, but some people also see her like this. I don't know. That's still confusing to me. Some people can see it, some people can't. I wonder what makes you have the ability to see the real and to not see it. Maybe that's what they meant by you can see it through traumatic events and things like that. Like maybe if you've been through enough trauma, you can see things from the real. Let's continue learning. Tape number 4. The real testing. This is a test that should only be undergone by authorized personnel. Possession of this material outside scientific military supervision risks federal prosecution. Alright, so technically we shouldn't be watching this.
Next, practice personnel will be shown a photograph of an entity phenomenon, which has been concluded with 89% certainty to be real. The following image was captured after a fire and explosion at Plastic Factory in Ohio in 1978, where 14 people were fatally injured, and 10 others suffered irreversible lifelong consequences. Personnel are advised to observe the material under the following mandatory conditions. Failure to comply will result in capture and permanent quarantine at the study center facilities. Close doors and windows.
Done.
Do not observe it between 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. A 70% occurrence of unpredictable effects has been reported during this time range. Do not be in the
Alright, I already messed up that part because I'm watching this between those 2 times.
company of another human, as the real could take the form of your counterpart and transform them into a doppelganger. If you have been diagnosed with a psychotic disorder such as schizophrenia, schizophreniform disorder, major depression, or any type of personality disorder, the probability of experiencing a panic crisis or paranoid crisis has been reported at 45% compared to other mental disorders.
Interesting.
If you cannot see anything, do not take your eyes off the image. The real could be in your visual apparatus, affecting an object or physical phenomenon in your surroundings. When the image is removed, close your eyes for 40 seconds.
Observe with utmost care what would be reflected in the mirror. Okay. I can't really tell what I'm looking at in the mirror here. Results. 35% of people claim to have seen nothing. Okay, I think I'm in that 35%. 21% of people claim to have seen a chair like this. 18% of people claim to have heard a voice inside their head. 10% of people claim to have seen nothing behind the mirror, but they felt tremendous terror. 9% of people claim to have seen something like this drawing. 7% of people were never seen again. Okay, so this one was both informative and gave me even more questions. We kind of know how the reel works now. We know that, for example, say the reel is this cup of water. Something from the reel is trying to look like this cup of water. This may look like a normal cup of water to me, but you might be able to see what it actually is. And then also a camera might see something different than what we both see. This is super complicated entity that we're dealing with, or realm of reality. Apparently the reel disguises itself as things from our worlds, but it can be perceived differently by everybody, which makes it super hard to tell what's actually the real and what's not. Now, how they affect other people, I'm guessing it just kills other people. We haven't gotten a full understanding of that yet, but we know kind of how it works now. That whole mirror sequence at the end there, let me know if you guys got any result differently than I did. I couldn't really see anything in that mirror, but if you felt like you could see something differently in the picture of the mirror, let me know in the comments down below. Did you see the chair, or did you see that face? Jump into the last video. Maybe we'll learn even more than what we already know. The next one is called First Contact. So maybe, I guess, humans' first interaction with the reel. Video 3. First Contact. Tape number 5. The White Mannequin, the most dangerous entity reported to date, 1989. Dr. Alexander Simard, head of the Department of Anomalous Reality Investigation Cases, presenting case 0014 regarding the White Mannequin. Okay, so back to the mannequin from the first video.
It happened in Toronto in 1988. The workers of a renowned clothing store called Salvatore Boutique in the city's downtown area reported that, for several weeks, they found a series of mannequins in different positions inside the store. The security cameras captured this, showing these figures in places where they shouldn't be.
That's definitely a little creepy. If you're checking security cameras and you see this.
A few weeks after these curious occurrences, the death of 3 individuals was reported. 2 female employees of the clothing store and a passerby. This all happened on the night of June 10th. The footage of their deaths was captured by internal and external security cameras. Apparently, a figure with strange arms suddenly emerged from some of the store's mannequins and attacked the 2 women inside.
Whoa.
A man who happened to be passing by also suffered a fatal fate. The police prohibited the disclosure of the audiovisual material.
That's unlucky, just walking
3
by a
weeks
store
later, after
and
an
that
apparent
happens.
calm in the activity of the mannequins, this image forced the permanent closure of the clothing store.
Okay.
Half a year later, the American Security Department requested the intervention of the Canadian government for the study of these mannequins. The team from the Department of Anomalous Reality Investigation Cases selected 2 of their top doctors to initiate the study of these strange creatures. They were kept in a laboratory 1 kilometer deep, in a specially contained room for observation purposes for several days.
Which we learned about.
The examination of this mannequin revealed a series of issues, as despite the images showing the presence of muscular material inside it, as well as relatively human-like nervous tissue. Some members of the medical team were emphatic in stating that they never saw what the images recorded. They claimed to have only examined an ordinary mannequin made of wood and metal, which they disassembled and found nothing unusual.
Okay, so this is a solid example of what they were talking about before, about how, again, to the human eye, you can't see it, but cameras or other people may be able to see these things. So to these scientists here in this photo, they were just looking at a normal mannequin, examining it. But meanwhile, in the pictures, you clearly see that it has its own flesh, muscular tissue. It has these root things on it, it looks like. So it's very clearly alive, but not to all human eyes. Ugh. Yeah, that's definitely not a normal mannequin. For sure is not. I'm surprised it didn't attack them, though. Okay, that actually looks like someone's getting attacked on the ground.
This event led the department to conduct an exhaustive study of the nature of this entity, as well as all others that exhibited similar characteristics.
Tape 6. The interview. Next, we will present excerpts from a transcript of interviews conducted with 3 prisoners sentenced to life imprisonment. Their names are Wilder Harrington, Sterling Donovan, Piotr Kazmarek. The latter was the one who provided the most relevant testimony for the investigation. Okay, what does this have to do with anything? Wilder Harrington. I don't know, man. I've told you like 3-4 times already. I saw that damn thing move on the table during lunchtime. What the hell did you expect me to do? I know nobody gives a damn about my life or anyone else's in this goddamn world, but nobody wants to die like that. That thing could have even attacked me. No, it wasn't just a damn chair. What the hell are you telling me? Alright, so this definitely sounds like a real encounter. I saw how he tried to escape. It even told me the plan. I'm not stupid enough to fall for that crap, especially after seeing what you guys did to him in the cell with those black hooded men. No, then who the hell else could it be? He didn't die. Are you crazy? I saw him this morning. You think I'm a liar? What more do you need from a snitch? Are these about the same encounter? Let's see what the third guy has to say. There were 4 of us, you already know the names. The idiot was munching on a piece of human intestine, and nobody said a damn thing. I don't know where he got it from. I don't think he killed anyone. I don't think he's one of those, what do you call them? Oh yeah, cannibals. No, he wasn't eating an apple, man. I'm telling you, he had a piece of meat in his hand. I wasn't about to start a fight over such stupidity. You guys have surveillance cameras. I know what I saw. The other idiots must have conspired to get me locked up in isolation. So what I'm understanding from this situation is there were 4 prisoners. We just heard interviews from 3 of them. The 4th one was sitting at a table with them eating what he thought was an apple, but the other guys saw that he was eating what looked like intestines because it was an object from the reel, so it's seen differently from different perspectives. The first prisoner that we got an interview from here attacked the 4th guy that was eating, thinking that he's a cannibal and that he was literally eating someone and that he might have attacked him next. That's at least what I'm getting from this. Another mannequin. Okay, so this is my thoughts on all this so far. Again, just so we're aware, this series is only 3 videos in so far. I think we're gonna potentially get a lot more. The first video of this was released around a month ago, and these last 2 videos came out in the last 2 weeks. So these videos are coming out pretty damn quick. So as always, if you guys like this series, make sure to like the video down below, and I'll continue to do research on this one and continue to react to these videos. But it seems like the reel is a very, very complicated thing. I don't even know how to describe it. But it sounds like the reel is from another plane of existence or another dimension, and it comes to our world disguising itself as objects or people or things in hopes of causing conflict or maybe actually hurting humans. And its only weakness is that some people can see it. And even that is a very, very light weakness. The fact that it's not visible to everybody is crazy and ridiculous to fight off. How are you supposed to fight something that only some of us can see? And again, it can be anything. It could be a box, a pigeon, a person, an object like an apple. It's just insane how this thing works. And it seems like the mannequin is the first thing or the first occurrence that happened in this world. And we saw it again there at the end. So I think the mannequin it could be the leader of what's going on here, or it could just be our main entity that we're dealing with at the moment. I don't know, this is a very confusing one so far, and it seems like the more videos we get, the more of an understanding I get. So hopefully that will continue as these videos release. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have any thoughts or theories, or if you think you can explain it better, please do in the comments down below. And as always, please be sure to go support the original content. You may find something that I didn't miss if you watch the video for yourself. So be sure to go check out Anomaly's channel. Link will be in the description down below. Also, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like on it. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to hit 300k before the end of the year. Also, big shout out to all my members. You guys are absolutely incredible, and I love you guys so much. Thank you for all your support. And alright guys, I will see you in the next one. Peace.